Oregon quarterback Bo Nix enters the 2024 NFL Draft with the most starts in college football history. He's shown a lot of upside in two different conferences, and he can continue doing so as he enters the big leagues. Yet, while Bo Nix's fifth season looked fantastic in the stat sheet, it may not be as elite as you think. Will Bo Nix's experience translate well to the NFL? Or will Nix struggle to translate to the bigger stage? I'm Keller, and welcome to Bo Nix, a detailed scouting report. Enjoy. Before we get into the film, here's a quick overview of Nix's collegiate career. Nix was a composite 5-star recruit out of Alabama. He committed to Auburn, and he is still the highest quarterback recruit to ever commit there. Nix went into a starting role immediately, and while at Auburn, fans weren't too impressed. He completed 59.4% of his passes for 7,251 yards, 39 touchdowns, and 16 picks in his 3 seasons at Auburn. After his junior season, he decided to transfer over to Oregon, where his career took bigger leaps and bounds than ever seen. 74.9% completion percentage, over 8,000 passing yards, 74 touchdowns, and 10 interceptions. His statistical career at Oregon was crazy good. In 5 years of college football, he started 61 games, which, as I previously mentioned, is the most starts ever in a college football career. With no years of eligibility left, he now goes on to the NFL scene. Let's dive into the film. Something I don't see enough of on Bo Nix scouting reports is his phenomenal pocket presence, and I actually think that it's his best trait. His ability to both decide and time his escape in the pocket is a trait that is going under the radar, and on so many plays, this pocket presence is perfect. His footwork in the pocket leads this off. He has active feet and is able to maneuver the pocket to his advantage. On this play in 2023, he took a play-action snap in the red zone and took himself 10 yards back before running it back towards the line due to incoming pressure. Instead of panicking, he let the ball go to an open check down who ran the ball just short of the goal line. On this play against Washington in 2022, Nix kept active feet and moved around in the pocket while surveying the field before ultimately taking off on a scramble and gaining 12 yards. Elite footwork and escapability for the first down. Speaking of the escapability, that was also extremely strong. Let's stick with Washington here, where on third down he finds the perfect time to evade the pocket and get the first down using his legs. When it comes to timing escapes, Nix is great at it. On a lot of examples, including the one just shown, Nix even gets a slight amount of contact from the pressure, but not enough to the point where he can go down. Finally, this was more shown in his 2021 and 2022 film, but his ability to improvise both in and out of the pocket also shows his nice pocket presence. I would say it's less playmaking and more his ability to process coverage and change his processes when pressure impacts it. On this play, he keeps his eyes downfield looking for a pass before evading and scrambling due to the pressure. I think this processing was pretty good, especially at a point where Oregon was actually down by 46. So overall, the pocket presence of Bo Nix is phenomenal, and from what I've seen, it's an underrated trait of his skill set. Nix's escapability wouldn't be as impactful and efficient if it wasn't for his above average athleticism. He's got some traits better than others, but just in general, his athleticism is enough to give teams comfort and closure, and even allow for plays to be run through his athletic traits. Just to prove this idea, here is Oregon running a read option with Nix in 2022, where he did gain good enough yardage for a first down. These read options were seen in all 3 of the years that I watched, and that was 2 separate teams. So clearly coaches are comfortable with his athleticism. Anyways, here's some very nice athleticism in action. 10 yards out, and Nix takes it himself up the middle for a touchdown. He's able to find the gap and execute through it, along with making several cuts to score untouched. Nix puts in some great effort as well. He commits to the gap early and doesn't slow down. Nix is rumored to run a 4.75 40-yard dash, which would fall in the 67th percentile of NFL quarterbacks. On top of the good athleticism, he has a downhill nature that teams will love. He doesn't scramble at the same yard line to find a gap and explode through. Besides, his explosiveness isn't the best part of his athleticism. Instead, he trusts in his line on designed runs and takes a downhill attack, which even some running backs struggle to do. By doing this, he's able to gain yardage on every run. All in all, his athleticism is 100% above average and will be utilized in different ways at the next level. On top of the pocket presence and the athletic traits, Nix is very accurate in the short and medium game. He uses some nice anticipation and angle adjustments to efficiently deliver passes to anywhere on the field, as long as it's not a cannonball. Okay, he did have some nice deep ball deliveries, but not enough to even get close to a positive. Here against Oregon State, he delivers a medium ball to his best receiver in Troy Franklin, and while he can make a lot of different grabs, Nix delivers this one right on the numbers with perfect timing, as the D-back closes in milliseconds later. Fantastic toss here. Here's another completion to Franklin, where he executes nearly the same delivery here. What makes this play different is the fact that he was able to deliver it on the run, which is another point of his great ball placement. He's a viable passer on the run, and he can deliver these passes efficiently while on the move, whether it be rolling left, rolling right, or even moving around in the pocket. I know this section is not about the deep game, but he even uses his ability to throw on the run to produce more power in the deep game. Just to show, he tossed this ball 56 air yards while running. Overall, his ball placement in the short and medium game is fantastic, and he's able to do it in multiple situations. To round out the strength section, Nix does make some very good reads and is a nice processor in the pocket. Some of this was manipulated in 2023, which will be discussed in the weakness section, but he still made some great reads for some great gains. Here's an example from 2023. Despite the bobbled snap, Nix knows that the middle is going to be open. He collects the ball and delivers a pass to his running back, running a slant out of the backfield. As a result, he's got enough yak to carry his reception into the end zone. He made a lot of great reads before 2023 as well, like on this play, where he reads a tight gap in the coverage and delivers this pass at a good level. He kept the same read the whole time and was able to deliver the pass as soon as a gap became present. One specific way I can describe this processing is in his ability to identify one-on-one coverage and potential mismatches. By doing this at efficient levels, he's able to use his nice anticipation in order to greatly time his throws and complete passes. No wonder he's completed 77% of his passes in 2023. There's not much else to say about it. His reads and processing while in the pocket, both pre-snap and during the play, is efficient enough to the point where it makes his appearance in this video as a positive. Those were the strengths of Bo Nix. What about the weaknesses? Just a minute ago, I said that some of his reads and processing abilities were manipulated in 2023. Why is that? Well, he was put on creative limits with the Oregon offense, which does bring questions for the league. In 2023, I noted a lot of screens and RPOs, and obviously these were good when you note his high completion percentage, but taking that same percentage, you can tell that it was manipulated by the amount of basic concepts run in the Oregon offense. To get more statistical, he had the third most screen dropbacks in all of college football in 2023, being only behind Middle Tennessee State's Nicholas Vitato, I hope I said that right, and Western Kentucky's Austin Reed. Now, PFF doesn't show percentage of RPOs run, but trust me, he would be near the top for that as well. And if that is what Oregon needs to be successful on offense, that's amazing. But it concerns me when I take a look at Nix as an NFL prospect. Another weakness that I briefly mentioned earlier was his deep accuracy. At first, this negative was going to be strictly about his constant underthrows going deep, but then as I watched more film, it turned into him just being very inefficient when chucking the ball downfield. Some plays luck out into PI calls, like this underthrow that only flew 40 yards, but luckily the DB literally ran into the receiver and knocked him over. An argument against this might be that it was an end zone shot, but he 100% had open distance to fire it into the back of the end zone. Or this deep ball against Oregon State. And yeah, it was a touchdown, but the receiver had to make a crazy adjustment to catch the ball in the first place. It flew from sideline to sideline, but in terms of just vertical yardage, it flew 36 yards. There's also inconsistent velocity when it comes to his game. Not only does it show up in the deep game, but even in the short and medium game. He has the ability to zip a pass or throw a ball 50 yards, but it's so inconsistent. Specifically for short and medium balls, sometimes he lofts these passes enough where it gives the DB enough time to catch up and close before the ball reaches the receiver. And specifically for deep balls, it's self-explanatory. Some balls can't even fly 40 yards, while others can reach 50. It's weird, but those are the only negatives for Bo Nix. Sure, I may have combined a few from my final scouting report, but it's still pretty impressive that I only had to go through 2. And yeah, those are all of the positives and negatives of Bo Nix's game. Before I send you all off, here's my final scouting report on Nix. His positives are 6th all-time in FBS passing, elite escapability and timing, fantastic ball placement in the short and medium game, nice footwork in the pocket, has good athleticism and a downhill nature, viable improviser, willing to take hits and risks in clutch time, and good at identifying one-on-one opportunities for receivers. And his negatives are, will be a 24-year-old rookie, accuracy going deep can use heavy improvement, creativity was very limited at Oregon, inconsistent velocities on all of his throws, falls over on a lot of his jukes, elusiveness is a question, throws some iffy passes into smothered coverage, and fails to convert on so many 4th downs. There is a huge talk right now on if Bo Nix is worth the 1st round pick, and I can honestly see either way. He has to get a grade though, and I'm actually going to stray away from the 1st round idea. He gets a B+ grade from me, which translates to a mid-2nd round talent. What do you think of Bo Nix as a prospect? Will he go in the 1st round, or will he fall outside of day 1? Let me know in the comment section below. Wait, are you not subscribed yet? Well, do it now. I release content like this all the time and would really appreciate your support. I'm Chase Keller from Chase Keller Journalism, and I will see you all next time.